How, if I've never touched this stuff before, should I use it to polish or correct paint?
It's a two-step system that anyone can use. It's all color-coded, makes it super easy.
Finally, the definitive guide.
I'm Andy Kuhl with Koch Chemie USA. I am Koch Chemie's national trainer. Today we're going to go over our polish and compound system.
By the way, I'm Nick from Hawk Pro Detailing, a bit of a Koch Chemie fanboy. They don't pay me for any of this stuff. I'm just doing it because I love it. If you want to buy this stuff on Amazon, I get a small commish. It's not going to cost you anything more, so you can support the channel that way. Or we have some merch. It's new. You can rock the Hawk Pro gear if you want. But anyway, what you probably want to know is how to use Koch Chemie stuff. I want to know the same thing. I couldn't find a definitive guide online. So I beelined to SEMA for a one-day trip, and I went right to the Koch Chemie booth for answers.
I know that the product that I'm getting is made in-house and the quality control is going to be there. It's going to be a quality German product.
Let's start with the basics. You really want to prep the paint first. They have their own clay. It's called Reinigungsknete Blau. Actually, it's called Cleaning Clay Mild. And they have their own clay spray, which to me kind of sounds gimmicky, but here's what Andy had to say.
We have so many people that talk about the clay spray being the end-all be-all of clay sprays. It makes a huge difference to have a good lubricant inside your clay spray because it's an abrasive. You're going to mar the finish no matter what. So how bad are you going to mar that? I mean, have you ever used a clay pad, synthetic clays, and just marred the heck out of the paint? It happens all the time.
So of course, first you clay the car, and then you're going to want to do a light prep spray, wipe it down, really get in there and see what does this paint look like without anything else on it, a solvent wipe, so to speak. But yeah, they do have their own prep spray.
A light alcohol scent, not too intrusive. It's not super aggressive because what happens is it's a solvent, right? And you're heating the paint with the chemical. So if it's got a super aggressive solvent in it, it can make the softest towel mar the paint. So we built something that's got nice surfactants in it that won't mar the paint, but also clean away and leave you with a true finish.
And by the way, check out this video if you're not super familiar with paint prep. Jason Rose, global trainer, Rupes USA. He knows so many things, forgotten more than we'll ever learn, right? We go through the ins and outs of paint prep. How long should you let the paint prep outgas before you touch it with a polisher? All very important things, but for the purposes of this video, they do have a prep spray.
The new H9 is going to be more aggressive, and that's one thing that everyone's asked for.
But let's start with compounding, right? You've prepped it, you're ready to compound. This is what I use H9 this year. A new compound, slightly updated.
H902, which is going to be our new heavy cut compound. It's a water-based compound with a new aluminum oxide abrasive in it. So it's going to cut better, faster, and finish better.
In the video, you're going to see him use the Flex XFE cordless. This is the Flex XFE. So it's not their forced rotation. This is a dual action polisher, 15 millimeter throw. This system is built for dual action. This system is built for speed.
What we want to do is show you how to use pressure.
Speed 6?
Speed 6 all the way up. To break down the abrasives and cause change really fast, so you don't need it. You don't need to have a long working cycle. You want to get through that cycle really quick because we're all about the efficiency.
You're really going to want to make this work for you. You're going to have different paints, substrates, temperatures, and you're going to probably find workarounds that don't quite fit in with how he teaches it here. If you're a detailer who likes to go down the rabbit hole, you're going to tweak this as you want to. But Andy is the national trainer, so let's hear him out, and I think you might enjoy what you hear and learn something as well.
This is a wool pad that we have in beta testing right now. I prefer a short nap wool over microfiber for the simple reason that microfiber, as the pad degrades, you get these little knots in it. It starts to, the pads break down a lot quicker than a wool pad will. The wool pad also runs a lot cooler and cuts harder. So for me, microfibers are good, but wool, if you can find a nice short nap wool, that's my favorite. We always start off, 4 drops to get the pad going. We don't need to use a ton of product because, like I said, we want to get enough abrasive out there to start doing the work, but not too much to where it just gets in the way and clogs up the whole situation. My process is pretty much get out, spread it out, and start jamming on it right away. We use about 15 pounds of pressure, a 90% overlap. And what I want to do is I want you to have some nice fast hand speed. We're not going really slow. We want to use the faster hand speed to keep the surface cool because of our downward pressure. We're going to be creating more heat. 2,000 grit sand scratches. We're going 90% overlaps, about 15 pounds of pressure, a little bit brisk of a hand speed. No need to crosshatch here. We just want to go nice back and forth.
Why am I not seeing the pad rotate?
Because rotation is not the end-all be-all. we're still getting 15 millimeters of work through the orbit. It's also much safer and causes less hazing when the pad's not spinning as much.
So in this stage, Andy's doing about 6 passes. That's what he recommends. But speaking about 15 pounds of pressure, how do you even measure that?
You can buy yourself a postage scale off of Amazon, a digital postage scale. They're usually about 1 by 1. You put it on the countertop, turn the machine on, and polish the top of it.
Literally, you actually put your polisher on there so you know how.
Exactly, and make sure you run it too, because it's gonna be, you can't just push. You actually need to run the machine on top of it.
So like ruin your postage thing, or will it not ruin it?
No, it won't ruin it. You'll be able to use it a ton. You'll ruin the pad. So what I do is I have a few pads in the shop that are right next to it that we always use. Whenever someone comes in, I say, here, go over there, measure it out.
H9 to compound, M3 to polish and remove rotary marks. This thing's amazing. This is like the unicorn juice. Compound for show, polish for dough.
What we're also doing here is going to be kind of weird. Is we're going to finish with our cutting pad. On these soft paints, we're gonna let this pad hydroplane on the product. We don't want the pad to interact with the surface at this point, right? We want to try to get as much as just the polish on there as possible without interacting. Let me give you a little reason why. If you were to take both these pads, right? Here's your soft pad, here's your hard pad. You try to spin this, right? It's not easy to spin, right? Because what's happening is it's creating drag underneath here, right? Because it's so soft, right? Now this one, nice and easy, right? It's not interacting the same. It's because the stiffness of the pad, now it's allowing the product to just hydroplane on top, right? Right, so that's why I choose on soft paints to go with a firmer pad.
Andy's using the red firm pad with M3 polish. I'm an M3 purple pad guy. I like to keep those colors together. That's just me. I know his soft paint explanation makes sense. But for whatever it's worth, 4 dots of polish.
So same here, still got a good amount of downward pressure. We're not looking for a lot of pad rotation, and we're just trying to use brisk hand movement and get through this as quick as possible. 90% overlap, and we'll just do 4 passes here.
He'll clean it out with a Tornador gun and then 2 dots of polish, and that's how he does his polishing. My personal opinion, I'm not using a pad for more than a panel. So I'll do 1 door, swap out pads, the next door, and of course after every section pass, I'm cleaning out that pad. We've got the micro cut pad with M3. P3 looks like a polish with
a wax in it.
P6 is a polish with a sealant.
Yep.
Got it.
That's going to be our medium grade compound. So it actually has a really nice abrasive in it.
The P6?
Yeah, this virtually has no abrasive in it.
So this is a really light polish and wax.
Yep. So this is this, and this is this. Just corresponding with the protectant in it.
F6, by the way, is their fine cut. It's essentially their medium compounding, serious abrasives on the front end, and then it diminishes down. Apparently people love this stuff. I never quite found a place for it in my shop. Oh, so the F6 has a decent amount of cut, so does the P6.
Yep.
Got it. Does the F6 have a diminishing abrasive?
Yes, it does.
So it's an all-in-one sort of cut finish.
But no protection.
No protection.
Right.
And the P6 has the protection.
Yep, so anytime you see the green band or has the P on it, P stands for protection. The green band just kind of symbolizes that also.
Wonderful. Andy's saying is your technique is going to stay the same when you're compounding and when you're polishing. Doesn't matter which one of these products might have protectant in it.
These are the backbones. These are the ones that you start off with. They impress you so much, you want to end up looking at the other line, the rest of the line. The products that I think impressed me the most is going to be the P601. And what the P601 is our F6 with a polymer sealant in it. So it gets a really great cut and leaves you protection behind. It's unlike any cleaner wax or all-in-one that you probably ever use. It's got such a nice diminishing abrasive in it that you can really get after some defects and leave a nice finish behind.
So there you have it, folks. Do you like Koch Chemie? I really do. I'm excited for more cut because I didn't love H9 on a dual action. And if you want to see more amazing paint correction videos, just check out this playlist. There's some real goldie, goody, amazing videos, including Andy Be Cool in the flesh when I first met him in Atlanta, Georgia for a Koch Chemie launch event.